I was just about to make a straightforward video on the Razer Blade 16. Then, well, the timing went nuclear. Reports of quality and support problems blew right up as I was editing, the video. So that made me ask the right question, I guess. Are premium laptops made for us or designed to keep us out of ever fixing them or upgrading them or, the such? Today, I'll show you my real-world experience with these super expensive laptops though. It is driving me crazy because of a sound it makes. I hope that something happened to it during the shipping, because otherwise, if this is indeed a quality control issue for ASUS, that sucks. What's being reported around the Razer Blade 16 and industry playbook that makes repair harder while prices just keep climbing up, while of course our experiences just drop. We'll also compare another notorious manufacturer that seemed to have, somewhat redeemed itself and really improved both on the product and the service they offer to the customer. And that, of course, it's ASUS. Some companies keep pushing overpriced laptops with virtually no support.
Why treat the customer this way? Why? Because that's why.
While others have turned things around, delivering quality and service to people that, actually deserve for the price point. Is that up for debate? Absolutely is up for debate. So, drop your thoughts down in the comments because every voice matters on this topic. The truth is that change only happens when we stand together. By refusing to hand our hard-earned money for the products that, just don't deliver. And I want to thank each and every one of you who actually have shown your very warm support, whether it was for standing behind Gamers Nexus after their video takedown or backing this small channel with a subscribe. You are the awesome force and momentum for change. Your comments, your decisions as buyers, and your demand for honesty are what forces the industry, after all, to rethink its ways. This alongside paired with reviews that can't be bought, and voices that tell it like it is, this becomes the real hammer of change. I might just be a very, very small and insignificant cog in this machine, but I promise to keep my integrity intact by always delivering, the unbiased reviews for anything showed here on the channel. Yes, I was actually lining up for a normal review of the Razer Blade 16. I've always wanted to buy one and test it, partially because, I saw it on one of Steve's video and it looked like his personal choice. I know how things tend to come full circle, right? In his recent video on Razer, Steve actually flat out calls the Blade a bad laptop that simply isn't worth the ridiculous price tag.
Our one-of-one Razer laptop ever purchased. This is the first one I bought. Might be the last one, other than for review.
This got me, of course, thinking about my own headache that I had with this ASUS G16, a premium machine with its fair shares of quality assurance issues, and here is where I draw my own parallel conclusions. This is a very important comparison that I'm gonna make, because it actually shows that there is hope in the industry. ASUS used to be in the same camp as Razer, or maybe even worse. But after taking it off, heat and flak, they've actually improved. Today, they offer a premium RMA process with dedicated team handling, the serious cases that get unresolved, plus unofficial parts store where actually individuals, not just authorized repair shops, can buy, the needed components. That said, it's not consistent everywhere. For example, I live in Europe, and here in Europe, I can actually buy an official battery replacement for my laptop right here, so this is the G16, but in the US, that part doesn't even exist in their catalog. Maybe it ties back to the ongoing right to repair fight in the States, with advocates like Louis Rossmann pushing against manufacturers' roadblocks. Still, it's progress, even though it's imperfect, but still it's miles ahead of what Razer is doing. Razer, by contrast, offers no such support in any region on the globe. It feels like they expect their device to be flawless or something. Or more likely, I think they just don't want you to repair them. That way they get the repeat customer instead of letting you extend the life of whatever you have already paid a premium for, of course. Sure, you can find a handful of parts still on reputable sites like iFixit, or if you really want a headache, you can troll down eBay, Amazon, or maybe some Chinese direct suppliers. But the quality is all over the place, of course, and rarely matches OEM standards, especially when it comes to consumables like batteries, for instance. This is a frustrating system designed to make customers buy a new machine rather than just support them. So I'm actually quite curious, what do you think? Have you had any different experience? Or do you see this the same way as an industry that just leaves us hanging more often than not? Speaking of support, my mind was actually blown of how bad things can get. There's a recent video from Just Josh where he walks through an RMA nightmare, I would say, where the process gets so messy. He says that Razer nearly kept his machine that he sent back for a problem. It lines up with what I'm seeing a lot, and that lots of back and forth with multiple representatives on the RMA processes, repetitive troubleshooting, OS reinstalls that are probably not gonna fix anything, long gaps between communication, and a real policy friction overall. Like the replacement eligibility that's tied down to reporting the issue in roughly about 2-week window, which mirrors their return policies. So if you're outside the 2 weeks window after you bought the machine, you're pushed down a slower repair path instead of a clean swap that should solve your issues much faster. That's exactly the kind of support reliability that buyers need to know before they spend $4,000 on a laptop. Come on, Razer. From rattling screws to worn out or even exploding batteries, and all the way up to random glitches caused by overheating, premium laptops often bring problems no one paying thousands should ever face. And when you try to fix them, many manufacturers actually lock down parts, manipulate reviews, unofficial sites, or drag you through terrible RMA processes. And if you're asking yourself, wait a minute, does ASUS offer premium support? What's happening to the regular support? Why can't they just improve that one? Well, I don't know. I guess politics or internal politics, I should say. But still, it's good that they're offering something and not leave people hanging like Razer is, straight off the bat. Even though Razer had these issues for quite some time now, the Blade 16 this time around is really catching serious heat, and the complaints are just stacking up. You have hardware flaws, that means trackpads that stop responding, keyboards that double register keystrokes, and that's really completely unacceptable on any laptop, let alone on a $4,000 machine. There's even, of course, software headaches attached where Razer Synapse can tank your FPS if it runs in the background. But if you uninstall it, then you lose essential features. So you're kind of stuck in a lose-lose situation sort of thing. You also have connectivity issues, external monitors that just randomly disconnect, which is quite the opposite of pro-level reliability. Yeah, connectivity issues are the last things I want to encounter whenever I'm trying to get my workflow going on a pro-level, device. You also have stability problems, crashes, blue screens, and weak gaming performance on battery, pointing to maybe deeper flaws in the design and power management of the laptop. For something marketed as the ultimate high-end machine, the Blade 16 actually feels more like a beta product with a luxury price tag attached. Yeah, not good, Razer, not good at all. So I really don't want this to sound like a pitch for ASUS, but it's just a comparison between something that's really bad and something that used to be really bad and now ain't as bad because people just started fighting back. So it seems to me that ASUS in the recent years actually climbed out of the same hole that Razer is stuck in now. And that shows the industry can actually move in the right direction. It just needs a real big push, or I should say a pushback from the people. But it only happens when enough people demand better, of course. Your comments, once again, your choices, and your refusal to pay for broken promises, that's what forces these companies to change. If you hit their bottom dollar, that's where you see change coming in a very short while. So share your story below, because together we are the sole reason they either fix things or just keep cashing in while nothing improves. And speaking of ASUS, my next video is going to dive deep into my own QA problems that I had with this G16 right here. I'll break down every gripe I had with what's supposed to be a premium laptop and explain why my experience was anything but premium. You won't want to miss that. You'll definitely see the video link somewhere up here if you want to check that out. Once again, guys, thank you so very much for your awesome support and how you all came together for our very own Tech Jesus and the illegal takedown of the video by Bloomberg, if you ask me. And until the next one, guys, stand your ground and stay awesome. I feel so humbled by all of you showing your support, and you have my promise of unbiased reviews of anything that I show here on the channel. See you guys. Bye-bye.